Are we starting with this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna start recording here. No. Okay, ready?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
When I pull up on her, tell that back. I'm too good with these words. Watch it backtrack. If I die, all I know is I'm a motherfucking legend. It's too late for my city. I'm the youngest goblin reckoning. Oh my god.
He's not gonna knock down the light, is he?
I hope not. We shouldn't have started with Drake.
No, Drake is good.
No,
People like Drake.
Started with Drake.
People like Drake. Here's the thing. Do you think, okay, if there was like you know how in chess, there's like a ranking for how good a player is? If there was a ranking for haters, where do you think you would rank?
I'd be like master level. I'd be like master level hater.
Like, because isn't it the higher you go up, the more, like, it's like 2,000 is like really, really like the best or something like that?
Devin is one of my closest friends. No,
and I hate that motherfucker. And I talk shit about him in front of him.
I've known Devin since I was first friend I ever made in kindergarten. And to this day, I'll say something next to me, he'll be like, "Can you just shut the fuck up and stop hating?"
So it's that frequent. So wait, so you've done it since you were a kid?
I've hated my whole life.
Wait, was there a moment it twisted?
I woke up and I was like, well, because here's the thing. It's not that I want to be a contrarian. It's not that I want to do anything. I think you should hate things. Because if you're not hating things, you're not paying enough attention in the world to understand what you like and what you dislike. And it's important to hate things because that's how we keep things in check and that's how we keep things in balance. If you loved everything and just okayed everything as it went, we'd end up with a bunch of mediocre things.
Yeah, and chaos. Yeah, that is true.
You have to hate.
Well, that's always the backstory, right? It was like I made something, everyone shitted on it, or it was terrible.
That being said, I don't entirely hate Drake. I love some of the Drake songs. I love a lot of... Honestly, I would say...
Drake was your number one for a little bit.
Drake, he wasn't my number one, but like I will give him that like prime peak Drake. I'm talking if you're reading this is through More Life, was like my real developmental years. And that I'm talking like 12 through like 14, 15. So like as I'm learning to be misogynistic and like as I'm learning to like, what's the word I'm lking for?
Hate women.
No, not hate women, but like as I'm learning to like I used the word earlier.
hate on people?
Not hate women, but like what's the other word for hate women?
Misogynistic?
No, not misogynistic.
Sexist?
No, not sexist.
Gay?
No, as I'm learning to like not itemize.
Oh wait, like dehumanize, objectify.
As I'm learning to objectify women, Drake was there.
Oh, so and Drake is the reason why.
And that's who you want around. As I remember, one of the little girls I was talking to in middle school.
Wait,
in middle school.
You're in middle. You're also a little boy.
Yes, I'm.
You're both little.
She was like the only the way we started like texting and talking back and forth. She was like, I love Drake. So she was obsessed with Drake. And she's like, you know what the only thing I love more than Drake is? And I was like, what? And she sent a picture of me. And I was like, damn, it's like that. It's like that.
Dude, your eyebrows were shaking.
That's how excited I was. I was like,
I've never known. It was like, I was like, is he having a seizure from the eyebrows up?
Yeah.
Wait, so
Drake was there. Drake was there for me. That's when you need Drake the most.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's for developmental years.
Because it's also like he's kind of like a soft boy, so like he doesn't entirely objectify women. He does a little bit.
He definitely objectifies. I think he's just not. He's how like there's always that song that like mixed people do where they're like, I'm not white enough for the white people. I'm not like my race for the race. Drake is like not soft enough to be accepted by the softies, but he's also not hard enough to be fully accepted by the hard. So he's in with the fake like thugs.
He's just a normal person with a big
huge dick.
With
floppy
that's crazy.
disk.
No, dude, I remember. Dang, those years, because like, and admittedly at that time I was learning like a lot about music and what I really liked. But like Drake was what was popular, and so like you hear Drake a lot just outside of like when you don't necessarily have like people would walk around school with speakers. I remember the day Views came out, and he was like dudes were walking around with their little JBL speakers blasting like what was it 9?
Ooh, yeah,
Number
yeah.
9.
Turn the 6
Upside down. It's a 9 now.
now.
I remember my little middle school girlfriend dumped me a couple days before, or like a couple weeks before, whatever.
For the Drake drop.
And well, not even for the Drake job. It's not the same girl, different girl.
Oh.
And that the intro to that album was like, all of my let's just be friends. And I would sit there like this. Right? Early Drake, not even early Drake, but like prime Drake had you like this.
You know what song I fucking
didn't even
hate
know why.
and I get chewed up for is Marvin's Room.
Why do you hate Marvin's Room?
It just is too. It was ruined for me. It was ruined. It was like peak Vine when everyone was using it. It would be like when your dog eats your sandwich, and then they would play like Marvin's Room, and it's like why? Like all right. Also, the lyrics to that song, it's been it's talked about way too much. The lyrics of the song are crazy. That like I hope no one heard that.
I hope no one heard that. No, but the second verse goes crazy, where he's like, "I think I'm addicted to naked pictures and sitting talking about." That's also kind of like, why are you addicted to pictures of naked women, Drake? Gross.
That's fun.
Disgusting. What are you looking at?
Middle school. Do you think middle school is when you start to become misogynistic?
That's when middle school is when you first start to like hang out with dudes and like try to be like a dude.
Yeah.
I remember
your identity.
I remember when like, so the people I was hanging out with in middle school were like these two like really Mexican dudes. Outside of my one like best friend at the time, or maybe two best friends, I was hanging out with this dude named James and this dude named Armando. Jesus, I don't know why I couldn't speak. And can you stop scratching the carpet, big dog?
Crane. Yeah, no. There he's done.
But anyways, those were the two dudes in my PE, and there was like the school, like the girl that everyone had a crush on at the school.
The baddie of the month.
Yeah, she was in the PE too, right? So we're all sitting there at PE, and this is when you're first learning to like be a dude and say like dude shit and like riff at the same time, but also like objectify women bad. And so like the school baddie of the month does the splits, and Armando and James are like, damn, like you see that? Like that's crazy. They're going back and forth, and they're like, Diego, what do you think about that? And I'm like, that's nasty.
I don't like that. So you were bad at being misogynistic?
Well, because you're just saying shit that like you see. Like,
you think it sounds, you're like, damn, I don't like that. Ew. You're like, what do you think of that, Diego? You turn, it's like.
No, but you're just like repeating what you see like old dudes say on like TV or like
yeah,
or, like, movies.
that is true.
And
nasty.
so like you like oh she and nasty, like you think that's like the cool thing, but it's not.
She's nasty, hunched over braces. She's nasty.
And they went in on, they're like, it's nasty to you? You don't like that? And I was like, whoa, no, you mean like I just couldn't.
No, guys, you gotta understand. Wait, but you're sweating, just drenched in sweat.
Guys, if you listen to what I'm trying to say here is what I mean, and they're like, you're not. They thought I was gay.
How long would? Yeah, girls would. Here's the thing. It's bad to be misogynistic, but in middle school that's gonna happen because you're just around boys that they want to talk to girls, but they don't know how to talk to girls. So it's the obvious like step to go like, like you can't explain your feelings.
Which,
in, like,
by the
way.
way, hold on, I want to clear this out there. That baddie of the month ended up being the like first little girl that you call your girlfriend.
For everybody.
No, for me.
Oh.
So.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as they're making fun of me saying that I don't know how to speak game correctly. I won for like 5 hours. I won.
Yeah, those were the days. But the same way guys were dumb and would do stupid shit and talk shit about women, women would be such pick-me's that it was crazy. Or not women. We were in middle school, but we've talked about this before. Finger in the throat.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Do you ever have the girls that were like they knew those like
what do you mean
trick questions?
What do you mean I have cancer if I put my elbows together?
Guys, I can do it, and they're all doing it.
What do you mean?
I knew one girl that would shoot. She just would come in and say that she was a slut for no reason.
It's like you're 12.
I know. She was like, I'm a slut, but I'm not really a slut. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And this is like 6th grade, so we're like 10, 11. And she's like, well, I've never had sex before, but I do other things. And it's like, what do you do? And then
You're 10.
the same way, like, we don't know what to say about women, they don't know what to say. So they're just saying stuff, and it sounds like yeah, I have this neighbor. He's in high school. It's like, wait, what? You're getting groomed. You're a victim. This isn't like a fun conversation. And then I remember like everyone else would like play into it. So then I thought I had to play into it. Did I ever tell you the first time the reason why I watched porn for the first time?
Go. Was it because of a homie? Because mine was because of a friend.
Yeah.
It's always because of a friend. You get shown it. You don't want to see it. But like somehow you're like, why are we watching this together?
Well, people would watch it. I watched porn one time with a group of dudes because you spend the night when you're a teenager, like and you're first hanging out, you spend the night at someone's house and there's one horny dude that wants to jack off with everybody for no fucking reason, and nobody questions it. We're all like, Sergio's crazy. Sergio's so fucking crazy, just pulling his dick out for no reason.
I remember at 6th grade camp, this dude named Fabio was yanking it on
yanking is crazy.
And he wasn't staying in my room. He was in the room next door. We all
You
wake
could
up.
hear it?
No, we just wake up the next morning. Everybody's like, guys, Fabio's fucking crazy. He was jerking off.
And then they're proud of it. Bro, I had a dude after PE, like, in same thing in
At
middle
school?
Yes,
At school?
showering. Dick out. And then people would walk by and be like, dude, Michael's crazy. And he'd be like,
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
But dude, so the first time I watched it, they played some like fucking like orgy video. And it was like, what I thought was happening is they were all just pissing on each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Well, it was just a bunch of women, but I was like, oh, they're pissing in each other's mouths and drinking it, and then I was like, yeah, I don't think porn's for me. And then we were in school in class, and we were.
Which,
in the
let's
study
be
group.
honest, they really are just pissing.
Well, when you put it that way, yeah, but you don't want to open up to piss.
Okay.
So then we're at the study groups at the tables, and we're all talking, and then this one dude starts bringing up porn, and I had a crush on an Asian girl at the time, and they're talking about like they were breaking it up like categories. They're like, oh, I like black girls or Mexican girls, like blah blah blah. This is the best. And I go, oh yeah, man, I love like the Asian girls on there. They're the best to me. And then he goes, ugh. And I go, wait, what? And he goes, they're always blurred out with hairy pussies. And I was like, oh man, I meant Mexican. I immediately backed down. I was like, fuck, I gotta know
delete.
Yeah, I was like, I need to know what to talk about. So then I went home and watched porn. And then the next day I was like, yeah, Mexican girls are the best. And I'd only watched like Asian porn. I didn't even try to do anything like that. But yeah, I mean it's
dude, those early like trying to impress women or like girls trying to like get at girl. It's the most like I remember 8th grade started, first day of 8th grade. And we're sitting in the last class of the day, and my best friend is in that class, right? Who's also my next door neighbor. And so we're sitting right next to each other, and we're looking across the room. I'm like, what's up with that chick over there? And he's like, I don't know. What's up with it? So the whole first week goes by. Friday at the end of the first week of school, the girl walks up to me as we're leaving class, and she's like, here. And she gave me a note with her number, and it said, text me. And he looked at me, and he's like, how did you do that? Like, I just pulled some shit out of my hat. Fast forward, I was talking to the girl for a little bit, and she was like, I don't know, never mind, Diego. Like, you just don't have like sex appeal.
wait.
I was like, dude, we're 12. None of us have sex appeal. Fast forward a little bit further, I'm still obsessed with this girl. I'm texting her, blah blah blah. She's like, yeah, I'm just like, I think I'm lesbian. I think I like these, and I'm like, oh, okay, so. No guy has sex appeal to you. Fast forward even further, I walked in on her making out with a dude in the bathroom, and I was like, oh, I'd never felt heartbreak like that and I was like, I'm gonna tell the girl about, like, because it was a whole thing. But yeah, that was like one of the first like heartbreaks.
I remember for a little while I had a Rubik's Cube phase. And there's different kinds of Rubik's Cubes. There's like the big normal ones. Here, these broke again. Then there's the 4x4, and there was a triangle. and I would just go to Walmart and buy them. And I thought like that was the, you know how like there's that quiet dude.
Wait,
in the
but you'd buy multiple?
My mom would buy multiple.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, if I'm just there in the corner of the room, and I would act like even when people would talk to me, I'd act like I didn't want to be talked to.
Yeah, you'd be like, I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm busy. Or and then I would like I was also bad at it. I was very
You
bad.
never
at
solved one. Carlos has been working on the same triangle Rubik's cube for 6 months. You would think he'd solve the normal one first.
I had someone else do it, and I brought one side, and I just would like I would. Yeah, man, I've never been good at talking to women.
Never?
No.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know what it is too. It's
I don't
legit like a switch. For some reason, it's like you're confident, you're in the zone, you're like I'm ready, and then as soon as it's face to face, it's like
Are we incels? Is this an incel podcast?
It's not an incel because we don't hate. I think incels hate women and want to do crazy shit. We just don't have game.
I remember in
This
high
is the No Game podcast.
the No Game podcast in high school. I was I also like I couldn't just like have a crush on a girl. It was like, oh, this is gonna be my personality for the next 5 months.
Was that girl?
Was like, well, maybe. I don't know. It was unhealthy. But I was like obsessed with this girl, and
You must have loved her.
What?
You must have loved her.
Well, hold on. So I in high school, like I didn't go to like parties and shit because I wasn't like, in my mind it was like I'm too cool for that. I don't need this. Like you guys are just, what do you guys?
Which is a very
This
you
is
move.
Which, by the way, it's honestly that's still my take, right? That's still my personality. I'm like I don't need this shit. I don't need to go. And then come Halloween, the girl's like, yeah, I'm going to this party, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you guys are weird. Like you don't need to go to that party. You could have fun by yourself. Like you don't.
You can have fun at my house.
I was like, you don't need to go to that party. But she's like, I'm gonna go. I don't know. The next day, she comes to school crying. I'm like, why are you crying? She's like, people saw me and blah 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 making out in the hot tub, and now they think we were having sex. The heartbreak I felt the minute
You immediately stop listening and you put on your headphones and you start playing Views.
the heartbreak I felt when I heard that, because like I know I'm supposed to be there for her and be like, oh no, that's okay, but the other part of me is like, this bitch just fucking like
Go home and read. Why don't you want to?
I told you not to go to that party, god damn it.
I know that'd be funny. Like, oh man, nobody's saying shit about me. I was in the house.
And so like I'm consoling her. I'm like, well, it's okay. And she's like, well, I don't know, I kind of like him. And I was like, all hope out the window. Biggest heartbreak, dude. Biggest heartbreak of like
To this day?
Well, no, not to this day. Well, because it goes from like I'm the coolest guy because I'm not at that party to like, oh, I'm the loser. She was fucking on this other dude. Whole time at the party, she was fucking on.
Yeah, God, man.
And then I can't console her. And then fast forward, she ends up like dating the guy, and I'm like, oh my god, I should have gone to the party. It could have been me.
You should have went to the party. Also, it's so funny. You're like, yeah, you can have fun at your house as she's just like texting you while she's giving this guy head.
Dude, and by the way, that's starting the school day. She's coming to school crying to me, telling me, she's like, everyone at the school is gonna think that I had sex with him. I'm like, yeah, asshole, you probably did.
Yeah.
And fast forward, I'm with everyone else like hating on her from.
Everyone's gonna think she cries in her hand. She looks up to her with the group board, tears dripping down your face.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Yeah, Drake is crazy, bro. What's up with the Killer Mike hate?
the Killer Mike hate. People are just stupid. Okay, honestly, I've been getting upset. I'm not gonna go out of there and like argue one side or the other. I'm gonna say Killer Mike's album was great. It was deserved. The other thing I'm going to say is for the people that are like, that wasn't even like, I didn't even know who Killer Mike was. And it's like, well then, buddy, you're not qualified to vote in this. Mm-hmm. If you don't know the broad range of what's out there, you're probably not trying. B, this isn't your forum to speak then because we're trying to vote for the best of the best here.
Mm-hmm.
And C, it's not his fault that you don't know who he is. That's not his fault. His job isn't to be the most popular rapper. Mm-hmm. That's not what the category is. It's the best rap album. Granted, I don't personally know or I wouldn't say if it was the best or not. It was good. It was very good. The other argument is they're like, well, you can't like, you don't hear it playing at a club or you don't hear people like raging to it. It's like, yeah, asshole. Because A, it's not club music. Hip hop was never necessarily club music. The more like dance joints were.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, you see like, I don't know. There's definitely some songs that are more club music.
Yeah, trap is like the new disco.
Oh my God, why are you barking, big dog? My argument is like, you can't knock it. The reasons that people are giving as to why he shouldn't have won is like those are invalid.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's never gonna end where people just have terrible takes and don't know what they're talking about. I do think I do.
He's got to stop.
Don't do it anymore. No.
Nope.
Okay. I think he's done. But listen, bro, music is one of those things too where it's like, bro, you just have to accept. And this is the saddest part about it. Whatever the most people listen to is going to be remembered. And sometimes it's good. Like, for example, like Kendrick, like fucking Drake, Prime Drake. But a lot of it is like Taylor Swift. And that hurts. Like in 10, 15 years, people are going to go like, remember that, like those years of music are fucking, that's Taylor Swift's generation. And it sucks because our generation doesn't fuck with her unless you're a white woman with like a Stanley Cup.
What pisses me off, a couple of things is like, okay, so the Killer Mike situation brings up the question as to whether it's like, well, is this a popularity contest or is this like the best contest? And then when you go to like the Taylor Swift conversation is a different topic in that like her popularity, the people that are responsible for her popularity aren't necessarily the majority of people. Like the majority of the people don't necessarily feel that way, but it's the people that are heard most, which is just like upper middle class white women or like upper middle class women in general. Their voices are going to be the loudest and they're going to echo each other because it kind of goes back. I'm not going to say what you said earlier where like baddies control culture, but the reality of it is like pop culture in general is controlled by like women from 15 to 25.
Yeah.
Like upper middle class women from 15 to 25, they're in charge of culture. As in like what they think is cool is what people assume the broad majority.
Yeah, whatever they relate to is what takes over because then that's when it's on the relatable meme space and then they send it to their...
Well, it's also they have the money, they have the purchasing power. It's like, and the reality of it is like not all of us like Taylor Swift. And I'm not going to come in here being a Taylor Swift hater because I am, but I'm not going to...
Yeah, you were like an OG Taylor Swift hater.
I've hated Taylor Swift from the jump just because to me it's so mediocre. There's people are like, she's writing poems. Like, no, she's not. She's writing bullshit about some dude that she was fucking with for a little bit and now isn't.
I like Wildest Dreams.
It also doesn't even sound crazy.
No, it doesn't. She's like the Ed Sheeran
I like
for women.
I like when you like make the argument that like you're like Taylor Swift's not talented and they're like, well, she writes and records her own songs. It's like, yeah, they're not good. That's the point. That's the point. It's not about whether she does it or not. They're bad.
Have you seen Wreck-It Ralph? Where he looks at her car and he goes, oh, it looks like you made it yourself. And she goes, I made it myself. That's the same thing with like Taylor Swift. Yeah.
It's like they're like she writes and does it herself. I can tell, dude. I can tell they're bad. And admittedly, it's not made for me. The same way like
I was at lunch, but that's the problem though. It's not made for us, and the stuff that is made for us, people call whack, and it's not whack.
I don't know. I just think I'm too gay I'm too straight for the gay kids and too gay for the straights.
Bro, and don't get me started on The Rock.
Are we pissed about? Are we just going through like all the things that have happened in the past 3-4 weeks?
Oh yeah, actually, because here's what happened last night. Because we got to do this quick. So I'm picking up my brother because he was out drinking and he was like, "Oh, can you drop me off at home? I'm too drunk." And I was like, "Yeah, I got you." We're driving back on the freeway. We're talking. It's kind of like a serious, end of the night convos where it's like we're very reflective. We're driving through and it's like, "Yeah, man. I mean, that shit's crazy. Like, is that car on fire?" And then we just drove past a flipped upside down car on fire.
You didn't stop to help?
There was already a cop there.
Okay.
Or somebody there that was staring. And then we're driving by. Also, I was like afraid it was gonna blow up. I tried to get a picture of it. My brother was like, "This shit happens to me all the time. This shit happens to me all the time. See what happens when you're around me." I'm like, "This isn't what?"
It's not his car.
Yes, I'm like, that doesn't make any sort of sense. But it was wild. It was definitely a moment. Oh, bro, did I tell you guys about the battery receptionist? How I fumbled the battery receptionist? I didn't fumble it. I made it worse.
What happened?
So the battery receptionist comes in, and apparently she's moving to another city. She's quitting the job soon, even though she just started. And she's talking. She's like, "Yeah, you're gonna miss me, huh?" Like she's just trying to do a random flirty bit that she's never done before. And she's like, "Yeah, it's me and the receptionist I'm with." So she's like, "You're gonna miss me. I bet you're like, this is gonna be the hardest goodbye you ever have." And I'm like again, not good at talking to women, like fumble mode activated. She's saying that, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not just gonna take this. I'm gonna give it back to her. I'm gonna like match that energy." So what I do is I go, "Yeah, I'm gonna miss you so much. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna keep asking about you to everyone around and until like you come back and just like be fiending like, yo, where's the receptionist at? Where's the receptionist at?" Also, this is like how far you are is where she's at. And then she looks at me and tilts her head and goes, "Okay." And she leaves. And the person I work with, my receptionist, goes, "What was that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know why." I was like, "Bro, you know what's even worse? I was gonna stick my tongue out. I was gonna be like, where's the yeah, man."
Maybe you should retire for a little bit. Get out the game.
I am. I'm retired. I'm moving on. The thing is, I can't talk about 3 subjects for the rest of my life. It can't be baddies, music, and The Rock. I have to move on at some point. And I've been switching things up. I've been moving on. Walks are going crazy.
You're going on walks?
Yeah.
That's nice. It's kind of sad that we don't have Chooch here right now. Because you want to end with good news, bad news.
I know. Well, Chooch is going through it, man. She's been in rehab. She's addicted to Scante.
What? How do we end this? How do we get out of here? He really sat here the whole time.
I know. That one's good. The other one's
Wildest dreams.
Yeah, we need to have an ending for us. We can't do good news, bad news. 'Cause that's definitely Chooch's segment. But we need to have something. What about a ranking system? Oh, the ranks of the week. What was top 5?
Top 5 of this week was me singing on stage. I sung on stage. Mm-hmm. Not in the usual way that I usually sing on stage, because I do it a lot.
Yeah, you do sing a lot.
But like I snuck it into a bit, like
and you hit the notes.
I tapped in, tapped out like that. Nobody even knew. It took away from a little bit of the pops, but it also had its own pops that were kind of like, oh, well, he does know how to sing.
Yeah, it was like you sang, and then it was like,
all right, and then back to ha ha ha, because I tagged the notes. I wasn't gonna sing and not tag it. I tagged it up. So that's my top of the week.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I guess my top of the week is, I did another Murder and Mic Drop show. Dude, those are so much fucking fun. Just being in character. It turns out people really like it when I'm pathetic. When I'm pathetic on stage, and I'm like, I'm just a little dumb guy. They're like, yes. Like, you ever see? No, like when you go to the zoo and you see a baby orangutan getting thrown around, and the people just go crazy. Mm-hmm. And they're like, they pick up the baby orangutan and they fling it, and then everyone's like, oh, that's me. When I'm going back and forth with someone and they're just like shitting on me. Also, it's so much fun shitting on people back. I forgot what I said. Somebody had said something in the show. Somebody dies, and we're partnered up. So someone's partner dies. And the person is trying to heckle us and talk, and I'm like, we're gonna let the dude who let their girlfriend die talk. We're gonna let the dude who couldn't even protect his girlfriend, and that got a pop. It was honestly really fun. Those are always good.
Okay. What was the second thing of the week?
You know when Diego does that's actually Morse code for put a dick in my mouth.
You know when Carlos does the innocent thing? That's actually his only game to get women.
Wait,
he's like, yeah, people love it when I'm pathetic. So do women. I'm just gonna be a little pathetic Carlos. Hey, look at me, I'm pathetic. I'm Mr. Batty receptionist. Carlos is a fucking cum zombie.
Wait, cum zombie?
You know when like animals or like that insect that like kills other things and like takes over and like runs that body.
Yeah.
That's you, but with your fucking ejaculate.
A jacket. You got scientific with it, dude. I'm not. Here's the thing. Cum zombie is a good word to use. I don't think it's a perfect word to describe me, only because I feel like cum zombie.
We gotta get
running
outta
on
here.
cum. Are we ending on cum zombie?
You earned it. You earned it, buddy.
Fuck. We have to,
I like how I called you that, but I also spent the first 25 minutes of this episode explaining how I was like obsessed with like 3 girls from middle
and
school.
then
to
at
high
your
school.
house.
What?
And then you stayed at your house.
Yeah, let's end on a song. If I pull up on a, tell that.
Well, we can't.
Bad.
We can't do a song that's half of it not us singing. Let's end on. Let's end on Michael.
Let's just get out of here. Thank you guys, and that's been another episode of the Take 4 podcast. Light skin face.
Oh, it ended a minute ago.
No, because we started that a little late.
It's off. So we don't know when we ended, but we got the battery's low, but still ran.
Yeah, let's get out of here. You want to do another one?
I'm down. Do you want to do another one?
Time is it?
It's barely one.